Did y'all want to take just some time to just kind of explain to the people what it is, what's your biggest project, and how it is that you step foot into that role?
Go ahead, Mr. West of the West.
No pressure.
Do you know my dog's name? Kiwi Brown is one of my dogs, and the other one is Mango, and we call it Mango West.
You
Shut off the headphones!
You were named for the dog? You were, yeah, John Rhys Davies. Anyway, so yes, I was a weird kid, is how I started out. That's how I got.
And a weird adult.
And a weird adult. But, yeah, I had a friend in college who had access to this really great recording studio at college. I put together the most self-indulgent, ridiculous, long, silly demo tape that you could ever imagine, and shopped it around to ad agencies in the San Antonio area, and just started doing commercial work right away, doing character voices and that sort of thing. And then on from there, fast forward to moving to Dallas, getting the Chuck E. Cheese jobs when they merged the two companies together, doing Jasper T. Charles playing the banjo, and then doing that's well, making the pizzas. And he's still got an instructional video online about how to make the pizza. And then we had the audition for Barney, and it just went completely magenta and green after that. My life.
What was it?
So, yeah.
Major project.
Major project.
Oh,
Not when you were 5 years old.
Okay.
But,
Yeah. Well, I've got two, but I think Jimmy Neutron is a really big one. And there's a one on Monster High called Draculaura, and that's a big one too. And of course, we all have hundreds more, but hopefully those are the ones that get you guys here, and we're so happy to have you here. We love being here.
thank you. And courage and courage. You all, hello? Yeah. We have liveness. Courage and courage the door. Basically, I'm an actor. But by the way, she said, we all have hundreds. I don't have hundreds. I have one big macher voiceover job. But it was a big one, so a nice one. I'm an actor, I'm a journeyman actor. I've been all over television, character work, and you see me all over the shows and independent film, stage, comedy. But somehow a friend of mine called me up and said, I haven't spoken of her in 5 years, by the way, and she said, I'm working for this guy, John Dilworth, who's actually casting for a new cartoon series, Courage and Coward the Dog. And he's lifted every voiceover artist in the city, including Debi Derryberry. Did you audition for Courage?
I don't think I was alive then. No, what year was that?
In 1998.
Yeah, I didn't get to Los Angeles till 99.
All right, but this is New York anyway. But that's okay. It don't all happen in Los Angeles. A little bit happens in New York. But anyway, so I said, great. He's listed every voiceover artist in the city. He can arrive at a decision somehow. Over 200 voices. So she said, he's driving me crazy. I'm reaching out to friends of mine. Maybe I'll have better luck. And I went the next day with no expectations, no real preparation to speak of, but just jumped in and somehow I hit the jackpot. And right away, he loved it. He wanted to
That's a great story, you know, having these lucky things that happen to us.
Well, all of the things we do are hard work. So many hard. Once in a while, something comes easy.
Now, for me personally, all three of your work I grew up on. You know, that was just my.
We'll send you our bill.
Swear. Did I say that out loud? But you can kind of tell when y'all speak a little bit that you can hear that character inside. I know Force them out a little bit.
Well, every once in a while. Oh, sorry. It's that helium tank that I have over here.
I
But
think all
yeah,
Now
All
we
my
need Scott
characters
Innes
sound
to
like
be
you.
here. Oh, sorry.
well, part of it is being able to maintain it. It's something that's not too radical and rough and hard. You know, I mean, if you've got some nice gravel in your voice already, natural gravel, that helps. You know, if you're gonna have to do gravel, but I can't gravel for very long. I can grovel for a long time, but I can't gravel.
But my whole life is gravelly, but the gravel is a part of what makes me.
I do a lot of teaching of voiceover. I have a book out if you're interested. Voiceover 101, How to Succeed as a Voice Actor on Amazon. But one of the things that I say when we're looking for characters to create is that we have to be staying in for like 4 hours. And sometimes people will come up and say, "Oh, look, I can do this voice." I'm like, "Can you do that voice for 4 hours?" No. Does it hurt? Yes. And that's a good sign that's not a good character voice for you. So we look for voices that we can maintain these characters with consistency, longevity, and through different emotions.
Which really applies to Barney because the original voice was the voice that I did in the audition was very close to what we did in Yes, and it was
But I mean, he's like this. He's very relaxed without the throat, and he's got a little bit nasal.
But when they had me start in the tapes, the home videos, they said, "Well, we want to make it bigger and sound deeper and everything." And so they forced me down to my range, which was like this. Which
Santa
was,
Clausy.
yes, it was. He was very Santa Clausy, and unfortunately, I did not have a clause in my contract that says I can't maintain that very well. So I kept trying to say, let's bring it up, and it's also friendlier and better. Easier to modulate up and down, which is more expressive, friendlier, and so they eventually came to me just before we started doing PPS. They said, "Oh, let's bring it out." So I won. I did win, and then of course that led to who was it? Adam Baldwin, I think, one time in a green room said to me, "So what made you make that voice all high, goofy like?" I said, "Well, I guess I just wanted to be able to really annoy a lot of parents all over the world. That's how
It's
I
not
did it."
annoying. It's lovely.
Checks in the mail.
Where I was going with that question, though, was, I mean,
Where are you going?
I'll tell you right now. So, I mean, you can kind of tell that you can tell that you voice your character, if that makes sense. When y'all go out and about just in your daily lives and you go through, like an Arby's, checkout or something. I mean, do y'all ever get that line of, y'all kind of sound like this person from this cartoon?
No, but sometimes, the other day I was buying pet food at the pet store, and I gave my credit card, and the checker looked at the credit card, and she went, I heard a little gasp. She looked up, and I felt really famous for like 4 seconds. You recognize the name. But no, I don't know. I haven't had it recognized
I
really.
only had it, but I don't know because my voice, not courage, is pretty deep, husky, So somehow, but sometimes I get up, it starts to creep up, and then they hear it, and that's it. Are you the voice of courage? I did have it a few times. I got it.
But usually we could just mingle amongst the riffraff. Nobody has any idea who we are, which is nice. It's like my sound mixer said one time, "You too can be anonymously famous." But it used to be back in the day when it was just everything that was purple and green. If I ever wanted some attention in my life, I would just put on a touring jacket with the Barney logo on the back
Right.
and go grocery shopping. And it would take me 5 hours to get out of the store.
You know what I do sometimes at the grocery store? I did a TikTok video of this, but I went into an aisle when there's nobody in the aisle, and I cried really loud like a baby, and was waiting for someone to poke their head in to see if there was a baby left by itself. I went in the aisle and I went, like that. Or in the movie theaters, that little moment of silence right before they tell you to turn off your cell phones, and then all those noises come in, and they show you what not to do, and there's those babies crying, and then right then, I'll do a baby cry, and people will turn their heads, and I'll be like,
Highest compliment.
mischievous.
Yes.
Yes, that's a good word.
Yes. Highest compliment I ever got was doing a political one time. Somebody brought their baby, the politician's baby, and the mom was there. They bring the baby in, and they're going to have the baby voice a political thing. And it's just babbling, but then subtitles, right? And so they brought me in to do the babbling, and I'm trying to sort of match the baby. The mom leaves the room before I started, right? And I did a take. And then they were playing it back. The mom walks in and is watching this, and then she's listening, and so when are you going to start to record?
Do it for
She
us.
thought
Do
that
it.
the recording was her own child. She felt like the worst mother because she didn't recognize. You know, it's like just little things like that. Little. It helps
Very
to have a
good.
baby voice.
Back on the idea of y'all's roles,
We're
y'all.
wandering again.
Oh no, it's perfectly fine. I mean, y'all all kind of said that you lucked up. Y'all are blessed to have taken on the roles that you have. Which I mean, sure, y'all were.
I didn't say
Iconic.
blessed. I said lucky.
Well, teach their role, you know. But were there any like roles that maybe you auditioned for that you wanted to, that you were like, man, I like what I've done, but there's just that one that I hate that slipped away.
All of them that I don't get. I really wanted the casting of Minnie Mouse. I wanted to be Minnie. I'm glad it's Caitlin. She is awesome. But I really worked so hard on that audition. No, the new voice of Caitlin Rograt. The new voice of Minnie Mouse. Yeah. But there's a bunch, I think. Sometimes I try not to ask. What we do, we audition on, at least I'm thinking, then I forget about it. Forget about it. Do that, say that. Forget about it.
Forget about it.
Forget about it.
There was one that it wasn't a huge role, but it was one that I was disappointed that I didn't get after the fact because I saw the movie and then I went, I could have done that. Why didn't they direct me to do that? You know? And it was Oliver Stone's talk radio. And it was this caller. This call-in thing, you know, I actually got to read for Oliver Stone.
Caller, that scary
One
caller?
of them. One of the many scary callers on that show. But I listened to it and it was like, I should have known better because Oliver Stone likes to do things that are a bit over the top. And all of his callers were kind of sounded a little bit actorish, you know, a little bit much. And I should have just pushed it more. So I didn't push it enough, and if I ever audition for him again, I'll know.
For me, it's a small role that I like on TV. I was on for a role as a reporter in The Sopranos. So I was going to go up to Junior, and I have maybe 3 lines with him. But I'm going to be in Soprano, one of my favorite shows of all time. So I got a call back, and they really like it. Even after I left the call back, David Chase came up to me, and he said, I just want you to know, you are a wonderful actor, and I really appreciate your truthfulness and unbelievable.
That doesn't happen a lot, so you must have impressed them.
It stayed with me anyway, and I never got a role in David Chase.
You were almost a big
What did
guy.
it do for me? What did the whole brain do for me?
Well, didn't you guys, y'all's iconic roles were not in the same like network, Cartoon Network. Yours was Jimmy Neutron was Nickelodeon, correct? I mean, I'm curious, you know, with 3 major networks, like what was it like working with these different ones?
We don't really work with the network. We just work with the microphone. They're like, because it does, sometimes we record at Nickelodeon, but sometimes we'll record at these other, there's so many studios in the area. There's the Salami, and there's the Oceanic, and there's all these studios, and we just show up to whatever studio and record the script. So I suppose the involvement with the network comes with the release of the show. They'll be like, well, back when we released Neutron and other things, there wasn't social media. We didn't even have cell phones barely. So it's however they release it, they're like, show up at this press junket but
Usually it's a separate production company, the network or the studio is above that somehow. So yeah.
But I will say, Cartoon Network definitely, during the shooting of Courage, made their presence known. And had some of their reps show up at certain recording sessions, at parties. They were trying to create the community. I've been only speaking from that short period of time, 1998 to 2002, when I was doing Courage. I really felt that the big shots, not the big shot, not the real, big shots, but the reps from the network made their presence known. It maybe encouraged some of the, wild, experimental sensibilities that I've Courage had, and I think some of the other shows as well.
I will say I think that they did compete with each other on how cool their parties were. Because like in their Disney holiday party or the Nick holiday party or the Cartoon Network holiday party, they really threw some pretty amazing things. Or you ever been on the Disney lot for the Easter egg hunt? Oh, so they really used to throw some major fun parties.
Well, I'm looking at our time. We're getting kind of close to the end, but before we get to that point, does anybody in the audience have a question that you'd like to ask them? You? If you all have a question, I'm going to come stand down here for a little bit. Just if you want to make a line, that'd be great.
Hi, my name's Will, and hi there. So this is kind of an obscure question because Miss Derryberry, you did a show called Tigtone on Adult Swim.
That was the best show in the whole world, wasn't it?
Yeah,
I loved that show.
Yeah.
People ask me what's my favorite show. I'll say Tigtone and there's crickets.
Yeah, it's weird. I mean, like, it's a cult Adult Swim show, but like, I kind of had a soft spot for like the technology and how it's being used. There's like motion capture on like the face animation, but like sort of stiff, like almost
like South Parky almost.
Loosely, I was thinking like Mike Python personally, but they get Mike Python stuff. And I was just wondering if you have like any stories related to like Tigtone, like rather it's like recording stories or like seeing the episodes when they were live on network.
So I did this character on Tigtone named Helpy. Helpy's a little purple monster who wants to help his boss Tigtone on the quests. So there are these giant epic quests, and he will pull off Helpy's arm because Helpy can regenerate. So I'm always losing appendages, and they wanted a crazy voice, so I did this voice that I thought I could not maintain, but I could. I figured out how to do Helpy's voice. It's a combination of an old lady, like an ancient, and a little boy. So, Helpy, there's Helpy right there, and I can do Helpy for hours on end. Oh, Tigtone, pull off my arm. I want to help. It was a really great show.
Perpetually painful.
So the audition and the callback were a little nutty because Helpy is nutty. God, it would be fun to have that show back. I'm so glad you liked it.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to New Orleans. Thank y'all for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you for the 5 extra pounds I gained.
The food's really good. My question is, and it's kind of individual for each one of y'all. So y'all shows Barney, Debi Neutron, and Courage really resonated with me, and I want to know what's y'all favorite lines from each show?
Oh, that's tough. Let's see. Favorite lines. I mean, there's always something that kind of sticks. There are lines that like I would stick in there. It's like when Jim Carrey did the Pet Detective stuff, and he would say, "Oh, righty then." I had Barney saying, "Oh, righty then." It's like the editors came to me and said, you put 5 of those in that episode, and we had to cut. I'm so sorry. But we had little things that, there's always, yours too, and this, there's that thing. And
I
that
have a feeling something bad is going to happen.
there's that. So I mean, there are a few lines here and there, but I mean, Barney didn't have a lot of conflict or anything, so there was not a lot of really weirdness in the show. So favorite lines a lot of times come from something that's really, different or edgy or something. But otherwise, that's we had stuff like that.
And I love you. Remember.
You know, the writers of Jimmy Neutron were so amazing and so clever, and all the rest of the cast are these stand-up comedian, hilarious people that just me, Debbie, I'm just the straight man. I just read the script. And when they have really fun lines in the script, I had to say them. And they thought up all these curse words for Jimmy that were science-related. They were like, oh, puking Pluto, or leaping leptons, or gas planet. And I wish I had made them up, but they're fun to say. So you guys can all go around today, and when you're angry, you can say, gas planet.
Gas planet, that's perfect.
Yeah.
That is perfect.
Did you go?
I went already. You wanted my favorite line, right?
You did it.
I have a feeling something bad is going to happen. I thought I interrupted you.
I have a bad feeling about this. There's the Star Wars
I
version.
interrupted you, miss.
Quite all right.
I don't want to be remiss in telling you how grateful we are to have you guys here.
Yes.
For making the trip. Did any of you drive like over 3 hours to get here? Oh, that means so much. I mean, we get to come here and do what we do, and but you guys, we'd be nothing. Nobody would know our shows if it weren't for you. So
Very
grateful
great.
for every one of you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Before we wrap it up, I just wanted to give y'all a chance. Do y'all have any like projects or things I wanted to kind of promote or just remind them of?
So, I'm a singer. I write and produce music for children, and I have a new YouTube channel called Debi Derryberry Kids, and all my music is animated. Shh, I'm talking. And I would love it if you guys could go follow Debi Derryberry Kids and see all my music. And then I have a country band called Honey Pig. We just perform in Los Angeles if you're there. And we are doing a Jimmy Neutron movie screening that I told you guys about January 24th in Los Angeles at the American Cinematheque Theater in Los Feliz. And you're all invited. The whole cast will be there for this 25th anniversary screening. Yeah, there's lots more projects, but I have to share the mic, so that's it for now.
I'm doing a plethora of short films right now. I can't talk about the ones presently in production, but I can talk about one that is on YouTube presently called about Hunter S. Thompson. I played the great writer Hunter S. Thompson, the crazy, off-the-wall Rolling Stone writer, Rolling Stone magazine, and I play him as a 67-year-old guy. It's an off-the-wall crazy movie called Hunter is Fucked. Do you hear that? But the C and the K are hashtagged out, so censored looking. So all you have to do is the Marty Grabstein, Hunter Thompson, and you take the right to the link. It's a funny movie, 18 minutes long. Weigh in on that, my friends.
Some of you may or may not know that my parallel career is in art direction, graphic design, creative direction. I do a lot of graphic design for TV and film. I've been doing that since the mid 80s or late 80s or so. I've done lots of television series. If you go to IMDb, you can see a bunch of credits for graphic design. The latest things have been, well, I've done a lot of Muppet shows. I did graphic design for the new Muppets, the Muppet Show special that's coming out, anniversary special 26, where we recreated all the sets and everything from the original show. And it was, I actually got about 3 days to hang out on the set with all of the puppeteers and everything, who were already friends from previous productions, which was magic. I mean, there were tears. It was amazing. But there's that. There's Pluribus, which is a new show out.
You're on Pluribus?
I'm not on Pluribus.
What did you do on Pluribus?
On Pluribus, I was doing graphic design.
It's pretty good.
It is darn good.
I like. Have you guys seen Pluribus yet?
Pluribus on Apple TV.
It has that girl from Better Call Saul.
Yeah.
And it's like one of those end of the world apocalyptic kind of shows. And
It's-
it's pretty good.
It's unique. It's never not. This thing has never quite been done before. So they're, the writing and everything is awesome. So some graphic design that I didn't do a lot of visualization and stuff.
We
And I
just
also
want you
have.
to be happy, Carol.
That's right. It
I
is.
want you to be happy.
It has a kind of psychological horror element to it, and then there is my own fiction podcast, which I am developing, and hopefully that will be out soonish. So that's it.
Everybody tune in to Bob West.
That's
Podcast.
right. Thank you.